We Americans deserve better than this. We Americans deserve a better president than this. This is a disgrace. This man didn't propose a single thing in seriousness. Every one of these proposals were aimed at making a political point and taking political advantage. He sabotages the negotiation process between the executive and legislative branch, which has been going on since the beginning of this republic. And having sabotaged it, he then complains that it doesn't work. And even worse, he then claims that he can take unilateral acts if the other elected body doesn't go along with him. In my lifetime, I cannot remember a president so brazen in his arrogance, so dismissive of our traditions and our institutions. We deserve better than this. And only we can fix this. No talk show host can fix it. We can do this at the ballot box. Our first objective has to be, in November, removing Obama at the ballot box. Hopefully, replacing him with the most conservative candidate running in the Republican primaries. A decision you will make. But in any event, he must be replaced because this madness must be stopped. I've talked before about the need to change the Republican Party. I'm not the first and I won't be the last. It's the Republican Party that must be the vessel through which we constitutional conservatives operate. And it's to the advantage of those who run the Republican Party to allow the constitutionalists to take it over, because otherwise I believe the Republican Party is going to die. If the Republican Party has no answers for what's going on in this society, then it has no reason to exist. And if it's a go-along party or a dance-around-the-edges party, or even worse, if its politicians say one thing and do another, it won't be long when the people have no regard for it whatsoever, including its members. First and foremost, we must reestablish constitutional government. Now, I've been saying this is daunting and formidable. Well, you saw the speech last night. That's what we're up against. A demagogue. And behind him stands another demagogue. And behind him stands yet another demagogue. And behind him stands 50 million demagogues. And their drones. The masterminds. And their paid army of bureaucrats. The masterminds. And those who have surrendered to them or been conquered by them through entitlements, through administrative coercion, and through other steps. This is a very serious matter, isn't it? But I think, in listening to him last night, rather than having a superficial reaction only, an emotional reaction only, you were able to zone in on how preposterous his proposals are, how impossible his proposals are, and how unconstitutional they are. He doesn't have the power to do all these things. Now, he does as a realpolitik point in Washington, D.C., but under the Constitution. He does not. We citizens need to be on our guard because these programs, this whole force, this utopianism, is very alluring. People want something for nothing, and they want it from somebody else, and they don't want to work for it. We also have people in this country who have really no connection to the society. They blame you and me and the system and free enterprise and the Constitution for their misery, when in fact they refuse to look in the mirror and take care of themselves and their own problems. It's just easier to attack us. And we have politicians today in very powerful positions who play to that. That's what class warfare is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what you tax the top 1%. I don't care if you confiscate all their money. This kind of spending, these kinds of yearly deficits, this kind of massive debt is going to kill us as a country and a society if we don't have a single rich person left. And I am sick and tired of hearing this Marxist propaganda, this class warfare, redistribution of wealth, and we don't call it what it is, and I do. Marxist propaganda right there in the Communist Manifesto, right for you to read in part in Ameritopia. That's what this is. And I'm not going to candy coat it anymore.